morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're still tuned to your breakfast show. Good morning, KSA. With this now, talking more about oral health among young children, infants, as well as the school-age children. We know that so many of our school-age children suffer through dental caries. And why is it? Well, a lot of the times the root cause is not in the toddler's ages, but as well as it could also be starting from a very, very young age. Let's say as soon as the first teeth start to appear on a baby, and if they're not properly taken care of, what could be the consequences of that? So this is what we're going to be pondering more upon in today's edition of the program. Joining us here is Dr. Tefahah, who is an oral surgery specialist. So with this, Assalamu alaikum and good morning, Dr. Wa'il.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Good morning to you, to Dr. Wa'il, and thank you very much for joining us today to talk about this very, very important subject, because we get to see that young children who develop oral complications from an early age, dental complications, it continues throughout the course of their life, and we get to see that nowadays the costs are constantly going higher and higher whenever it is that you want to visit your dentist or any good dental clinic. So with this, we would try to keep all the children with healthy teeth so that it is not going to be taking a huge toll on their financial situation later in life. But nonetheless, talking about children, and as I mentioned that we would start from the young infant. So with this, Dr. Wa'il, tell us a little bit from the time that a child is in the mother's womb as to how it is that the nutrition and all that is going on around the child would affect him. How important is it for a mother to actually take proper nutrition for the child to be healthy overall, and as well as eventually later in life to develop strong teeth and strong bones?
Well, actually the teeth began to form inside the embryo mouth beginning from the 14th week of intrauterine life. Mm-hmm. And as we all know that the embryo depends totally on his mother to gain his all nutrients and all elements needed for the development of his tissues. So if the mother did not make sure that she is taking a balanced diet every day that contains all the necessary elements for her and for her embryo, this will definitely be implicated on the health of the embryo. It was found that the daily requirement of calcium per day for a pregnant mother is not less than 1,000 milligram up to 1,500. So if she did not take this daily requirement of calcium, the embryo will not take his calcium. It was also estimated that this amount of calcium is taken from two sources. The supplements, which are usually prescribed by the doctors, the gynecologists, these supplements provide about 200 milligrams per day. The other amount of calcium will be taken from diet. Of course, all of us know that milk and dairy products are very rich products in calcium. It is good for the mother to take at least 1 glass of milk, skimmed or low-fat milk, with every meal, and in addition to 1 glass at bedtime. This is quite enough for her to provide her and her baby with the enough amount of calcium to develop his teeth.
So up to 3 or 4 glasses of milk?
Yes. In addition to the other products, and cheese, dairy products, all of them contain calcium also.
Now, doctor, before the females watching go ahead and get tumblers and huge servings of milk 4 to 5 times, tell us about the required serving and the measurement of the milk that they should have with each meal.
1 glass of milk is enough with each meal. 1 glass. About 200 milli.
200
it's enough, yes. 3 times per day with every meal, and at bedtime, one glass also in addition is quite enough for her. And not necessarily milk alone. And if the milk is mixed with chocolate or something else, it's okay also. Some mothers do not like to take milk alone. Right. Maybe they have a problem taking milk, so they can take it in addition to something else.
Definitely. Now, doctor, the baby teeth, they come out at a very tender age when the mother is still learning as to how is it that she should take care of the child. And when the baby teeth actually come out, it is a very harsh process for the whole family to go through because the baby gets very cranky, the baby is very moody. And with all of that, with the first tooth coming out, it's all the harder to take care of the teeth and to clean it because children are of their own brains. They work as to how they want. They don't want to open their mouth. You cannot force it open. So how is it that a mother should be taking care of the baby teeth which come out initially?
Okay. The first year, she will begin from the eruption of the first tooth. It usually erupts about the age of 6 months and forwards until all the teeth of the baby becomes completely erupted into the mouth by the age of 2. And the roots are formed by the age of 3, completed by the age of 3. In the first year, she has to take care of the baby's teeth and the gums in addition. She can use wet gauze or cloth to wipe off the food around the teeth and to make some massage for the gums. And also she can use a toothbrush which is specially designed for the children having soft bristles, small in size of course, to just clean the teeth from the debris, the food debris. Beginning from the first year to the second year, she can use in addition a toothpaste which is specially designed for children that contains no fluoride. In this age we don't give fluoride to the baby. After that, from the age of 6 and upwards, the baby is now accustomed to brush his teeth by the aid of his mother, and he can use or she can use the normal dentifrice, the toothpaste containing fluoride. So we have 3 levels or 3 stages. The first year, no dentifrice, only wet gauze or cloth, or we can use the brush without toothpaste. From the second year, we can use the toothpaste and without fluoride. From the 6th year, we can use the fluoride-containing toothpaste.
Right. Now, Dr. Wائل, talking about fluoride, tell us a little bit more about the fluoride sources. You mentioned toothpaste, and what are the other sources of fluoride?
Actually, fluoride is a very important element for the teeth, but not in excess. If it is taken in excess, it causes fluorosis, which is a very bad disease which causes the teeth to be mottled. So we have to make sure that the optimal amounts of fluoride are taken. The fluoride sources are either direct sources or indirect sources. The indirect sources are simply from the water, the fluorinated water. This is number 1. Number 2, from the food. Fish and seafood is a high containing product of fluoride. Also we can get the fluoride in rice, in salt, and in some cereals. Okay, this is the indirect sources. About the direct sources, we have fluoride from the toothpaste, the fluoridated toothpaste. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, from the mouth rinses. There are many commercial mouth rinses containing fluoride. And number 3, the direct application of fluoride on the teeth. And this is by either the patient himself or his mother at the home side or at the chair side in the clinic by professional dental doctor or hygienist. So these are the sources of fluoride.
Right. And talking about fluoride here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, tell us a little bit, Dr. Wائل, about water fluoridation. Do we actually have water fluoridation, or given if we don't, how important it is for us to have it actually?
Actually, there are two. It's a controversial issue. Some say that the fluoride intake is not important so much, and some say it's important. Actually, it's important only, as we mentioned, in the optimal amounts. So the water, if fluorinated and containing the optimal amount, it's very useful for the health of the teeth. In Saudi Arabia, there was a study that collected some samples of different water sources, either ground sources or the bottled water. The bottled waters. They found that in average, the water contains 0.7 to 1.2 milligram per liter, and this is not enough. We need 1.5 milligram per liter. The difference is taken from the toothpaste. The regular toothpaste and the regular toothbrushing will provide us with this amount.
Definitely. Now, doctor, since we are talking about baby teeth, talk to us about tooth decay amongst young babies, as well as within toddlers within the age of 2 to 3, you often see that instead of having pearly teeth, they're having teeth which are absolutely black because of the decay. So talk to us as to how is it that we can prevent tooth decay amongst these young ones. Other than that, also mention to us if bottled milk and having bottled milk can actually lead to tooth decay.
Okay. This is a very important question actually, and we suffer from this, especially here in Saudi Arabia. In this young age, we have to restrict the sugar and sweet intakes for the baby to be not so frequent in the day. The problem here is that when the sweets and the sugar food comes in contact with the teeth a long time, this causes the teeth to be decayed. So we have to restrict it and to make it less frequent. And once or twice per day is enough. And the mother should take into consideration that the baby's teeth are cleaned directly after eating sugar or sweet. Okay, this is number one. The other thing also, we have to have a regular checkup with the dentist every year. This is very important. In addition to a healthy, balanced diet which contains fibers. These fibers will clean the teeth when chewing such fibers. You asked me also about the bottled milk. Usually a lot of mothers leave the baby sleep with the bottle of milk in his mouth, and this is not good because the milk comes in contact. It is sugary, of course. It comes in contact with the teeth for a long time. So it's better to avoid this at the early age, and instead, if he cannot sleep without the bottle, we can fill it with water. It's enough.
Right.
But not to leave it in his mouth, because this will definitely cause dental decay.
Right. So, Dr. Wa'il, tell us a little bit more in detail about it, because most of the children during the time that they are sleeping, let's say from 10 to 12 hours, as the child's sleeping habits would be from the age of 1 to 3. So the mothers keep replacing the bottles throughout the night whenever it is that the child wakes up, and at least 2 to 3 times they have new bottles of water, and the infant formulas, they are already having kind of sugars in it. So how does it affect the child's teeth, and how important is this particular aspect? Because I'm sure that a lot of mothers have heard about it, but they don't take it much into consideration because they think a child's nutrition is above everything else.
Yes, it's very important indeed, like you said, but we have to make sure that this sugar in the milk will not contact the teeth for a long time. So she can simply, after feeding him, just clean the teeth with this wet gauze or cloth after each bottle intake, and then give him to drink some amount of water. This water will wash away the sugar in the milk which was already in contact with the teeth. Every 3 or 4 hours, this is quite enough, and it's okay for the baby. After that, inshallah, when he becomes younger a little bit, he will be trained to brush his teeth, or she can help him to brush his teeth after every milk intake.
Most definitely. Now, doctor, kids really do like to have sweets and candies, especially when the kid is almost 2 years of age, and they can actually have different kinds of chocolates and stuff. Now, I see my little niece, she's 3 years old, and she wakes up and the first thing she wants before food is chocolate. She wants chocolate as soon as she wakes up. And you cannot deny her that, because she really, really wants it, and you cannot say no to your beautiful baby girl. So how is it that we can, if not limit, but at least see the intake of our child's chocolate and candies at an early age? And let's say if a child is having 1 chocolate bar every day, how badly does it affect their teeth?
Okay, it's okay to take a single chocolate bar every day, but provided that we tell the baby to clean his teeth after taking this chocolate bar, and make it as a praise for him. Yani, okay, if you do this, we will give you a chocolate bar, but you should promise me to clean your teeth after that. If we do that, inshallah, there will be no harm on the teeth. Nobody can stop them from utilizing sweets and sugary intakes and the candies, but we can just organize the intake, make it after meals, and make it 2 times or 3 times per day, and after that make sure that we clean the teeth. This will prevent, inshallah, the caries from happening. But if they are taking the sweets every hour, every 2 hours, of course they will not clean the teeth after that. So this will be a bad impact on the teeth in the future. So we have to encourage them to have what is good and what is bad, and to encourage them to always clean their teeth after the sugary meals.
Indeed, Dr. Wa'il. Now, Dr. Wa'il, is there any recommendation for the mothers who are watching us right now? Let's say that for the children, for all their sweet or sugary intake, they keep it until the early part of the day. So let's say that past 7 o'clock or past 8 o'clock, they don't really have a lot of sugary things, so that their teeth would be protected from the extra sugar which is going to be on top, and at the same time, they would also not be very hyper.
Yes, this is very accurate, because we have to avoid to take candies and sugars at the bedtime.
Yeah.
That decay always happen during sleep.
What are the most important elements, let's say, for dental decay?
We have a tooth surface, we have sugar from the candy and chocolate, whatever, and we have bacteria. Bacteria, the microorganisms which are normal inhabitants of the oral cavity. We have more than 300 species of bacteria in the oral cavity. Some of them work on the sugar that is collected in between the teeth from the sugary intake, and they produce from this sugar waste products. These waste products are acids. These acids cause decalcification of the tooth structure. They take out the calcium from the tooth, leading to cavity, which is called decay, dental decay. So this is the cycle. We have the tooth surface, the sugar, the bacteria. These three elements should be together in darkness and in high temperatures. This is usually happening when we are asleep, because when we are asleep, usually we close our mouths, so there is darkness, and the temperature inside the oral cavity is high. This is an optimum environment for the bacteria to work on the sugars and form the acids. So we always advise the patient or the baby to clean his teeth before sleep, to get rid of the substrate, which is the sugar intake collected in between the teeth. So we will break the cycle. If there is bacteria, if there is darkness and hot environment, but there is no sugar, so no acid will form and no decay will happen.
Indeed. And if you have to choose one recommended brushing time for the children, would you say it's more, let's say that we have to brush only once a day. Is it more important to brush your teeth before going to bed, or is it more important for you to brush your teeth when you wake up in the morning?
No, of course, before sleeping. If we are going to only make once per day, but it's recommended that if we should brush our teeth every time after every meal.
Right.
And this is the optimal. But if we have to do it only once per day, it should be before sleeping.
Yeah, indeed. You know, I asked you that, Dr. Wa'il, is because I want the mothers to know how crucial and how important it is for their children to be brushing their teeth, and actually, let alone the children, a lot of adults do not have a particular habit of brushing their teeth before bedtime. So this is the most important time, because you would be having at least 5 to 8 hours of sleep, and this is the ideal atmosphere for the bacteria to harbor more and more into your mouth and really take over all the calcium in your teeth. So please be very, very careful. And with this, we hope that everybody is going to be having good oral health. And thank you very much, Dr. Wa'il, for joining us in today's edition of the program. With this, we hope that more of our school-age children are going to have better oral hygiene without having dental caries and a lot of complications. And if you take care of your child's teeth from an early age, from the time that he is an infant, he is likely to grow up to have healthy teeth. But well, usually they say that it is all in the genes to have stronger teeth and stronger bones. But nonetheless, we could always brush up on some good healthy habits so that we would be able to have teeth, because they are made in a way that they should last us a lifetime. So inshallah, hopefully all of us are going to be having lasting oral hygiene with the teeth that are actually going to last us a lifetime. With this, stay tuned. Up next, we're going to be moving on towards another segment, and then we are going to return to the studio with Dr. Talat Hafiz to have a very interesting session.